From Kawhi Leonard still rolling around in his rusty Tahoe to Giannis Antetokounmpo keeping life simple even after stacking millions.
Are you a cheap NBA star? You cheap or you? Are you a cheap NBA star?
Cheap for myself, yes.
In this video, we're looking at insanely rich NBA players who still live like regular folks. Kawhi Leonard. Let's start with one of the most iconic examples of NBA frugality, Kawhi Leonard, whose legendary attachment to his 1997 Chevrolet Tahoe has become the stuff of basketball folklore.
For me to tell you about myself, I just can't give you a whole spiel. I don't even know where you're sitting at.
Leonard's net worth sits at approximately $120 million as of September 2025, built primarily through his NBA contracts and endorsements, yet his lifestyle choices remain remarkably modest. The story of Leonard's beloved Tahoe, affectionately nicknamed Gas Guzzler, perfectly encapsulates his approach to wealth. He bought this vehicle as a teenager in high school and continued using it even after signing his $94 million Spurs contract in 2015 and his $103 million Clippers deal in 2019. When ESPN featured him in a 2016 segment, his explanation was beautifully simple. It runs and it's paid off. This mindset extends far beyond his choice of transportation. Leonard's frugality became legendary during his San Antonio Spurs days, where he reportedly lived in a two-bedroom apartment despite earning millions. But perhaps the most endearing example of his penny-pinching ways involves his relationship with Wingstop. As an endorser of the chicken wing chain, Leonard receives coupon books for free wing, fueling his love for the mango habanero flavor. In a famous 2016 incident that has become part of NBA lore, Leonard panicked upon losing a coupon book and contacted the company for replacements. Leonard's approach to money reflects a deeper philosophy rooted in his challenging upbringing in Compton, California. Raised in a working-class environment by his parents Mark Leonard, a former football player who owned a car wash, and Kim Robertson, Kawhi learned early that material possessions weren't what defined success. A pivotal tragedy shaped his perspective when his father was shot and killed at his Compton car wash in an unsolved murder on January 18, 2008, when Kawhi was just 16 years old. Despite recent controversies surrounding his finances, including allegations of a no-show job worth $28 million tied to Clippers owner Steve Ballmer, Leonard's personal spending habits remain unchanged. His career earnings exceed $325 million, yet he's only played 80% of games in 4 seasons, underscoring his efficient load management both on and off the court.
When you know Kawhi, he just as normal and like enthusiastic, charisma, funny, down to earth.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, you're rich. Yep. How is it feel to be rich?
I'm not the rich.
No.
Despite net worth ranging from $100 million to $250 million, Giannis Antetokounmpo has earned a reputation as one of the NBA's most frugal superstars. Former teammate Jrue Holiday famously called him the cheapest guy I know, and recent sightings of Giannis haggling at discount stores in New York City prove that supermax contracts haven't changed his fundamental approach to money. Forbes ranks Giannis 13th among the world's highest paid athletes in 2025, with $94.4 million in earnings, including $48.8 million on court and $45.6 million off court. His current contract structure includes escalating payments through 2028 to 29, with a player option worth $62.8 million for his final year. But here's what makes Giannis special. He was spotted in 2024 bargain shopping in NYC, negotiating prices at discount stores. When questioned about his frugal habits, Giannis admits to being cheap for myself while remaining generous to others. He simply doesn't care about material possessions for their own sake, preferring to save aggressively while ensuring his family's security. Giannis's approach to money stems directly from his childhood in Athens, Greece, where his family lived in poverty as undocumented Nigerian immigrants. Parents Charles and Veronica emigrated from Nigeria in 1991 seeking opportunity, but the family faced constant challenges: cramped apartments, evictions, and racism. Without Greek citizenship until 2013, they lived under the constant fear of deportation. The Antetokounmpo brothers, Giannis, Thanasis, Kostas, and Alex, sold trinkets to tourists for survival, often sharing shoes and meals. Giannis has said he felt rich with his family despite having nothing materially. These experiences created a deep appreciation for family bonds over material wealth.
But for my family, no.
No, okay.
When it comes to my family, I give them more than I give myself.
What do you spend the most money on?
Business.
Now married to Mariah Riddlespringer since 2024 with 3 children, Giannis channels his generosity toward family while maintaining personal frugality. He's bought homes for relatives and brought family members to the United States, but his own spending habits remain remarkably modest. Jimmy Butler. Few NBA stories are as captivating as Jimmy Butler's journey from homelessness to becoming a player worth approximately $80 million to $100 million. But what makes Butler's story truly remarkable isn't just his financial success. It's how he's maintained his humble roots through practical choices that reflect his character. Forbes lists Butler's 2025 earnings at $59.8 million, with $48.8 million on court and $11 million off court, making him one of the league's top earners. His career NBA salaries have totaled over $312 million through 2025, with projections exceeding $424 million by 2027. His latest contract extension with the Warriors pays him over $50 million annually. But here's what sets Butler apart. He drives a Toyota Sienna minivan, not because he can't afford anything else, but because it's practical. This choice perfectly encapsulates Butler's approach to life function over flash, substance over style. The minivan serves his needs without unnecessary extravagance, a philosophy that extends throughout his lifestyle choices. Butler's most famous display of entrepreneurial frugality came during the 2020 NBA bubble, where he charged teammates $20 per cup for coffee from his hotel French press, turning it into Big Face Coffee.
How you grade your coffee? Is anybody else on the team drinking your coffee?
I grade it 10 out of 10. Nobody on my team can afford it, so they don't want to go over there and pay for it.
What started as a playful hustle has evolved into a legitimate business venture, with Big Face Coffee now operating a Miami storefront and featuring farm-sourced beans. He's joked about charging $60 at home, emphasizing his coffee shop mentality even among millionaire teammates. In another viral moment, Jimmy was caught on camera complaining about gas prices being too expensive.
This is high-rate robbery. Man, I'm trying to get some of this gas back. Hey, you think if I go in there and tell them that I put the wrong gas in here, they'll give me a refund? This is crazy.
Butler's frugal habits stem from one of the most challenging upbringings in professional sports. Abandoned by his father as an infant and kicked out by his mother at 13 in Tomball, Texas. He was homeless, couch surfing until the Lambert family, who already had 7 children, took him in. These experiences taught him that security and family matter more than material possessions. Butler's approach to wealth reflects these early lessons. He avoids excess, once cutting cable and internet to focus entirely on training 3 times daily. His investments include real estate and ventures like his Padel tennis involvement via Boych Investment Group, but always with a practical long-term perspective rather than flashy speculation. Jrue Holiday.
Yeah, really just, I guess this big announcement for me and my family is we're pledging the rest of my salary just to really keep this movement going for the social and economic inequalities. We really feel like me pledging my salary could benefit the Black communities in LA, in New Orleans, and in Indiana.
Jrue Holiday's net worth sits around $100 million, but his approach to wealth management through massive charitable donations sets him apart as one of the NBA's most generous stars. Holiday's financial philosophy centers on using his platform and resources to create meaningful social impact. Holiday's NBA salaries total over $250 million through 2025, including his current 4-year, $134.4 million extension with the Boston Celtics. His contract pays escalating amounts through 2027 to 28, with a player option worth $37.2 million for his final year. But Holiday's defining financial characteristic is his extraordinary generosity. In 2020, he donated his entire $5.3 million bubble salary to the Jrue and Lauren Holiday Social Impact Fund for Black-owned businesses and nonprofits. More recently, he donated $4.6 million of his 2025 salary to transform Boston homes into shelters for homeless youth, earning the NBA Social Justice Champion Award. Holiday's frugal personal lifestyle contrasts sharply with his charitable giving. He lives simply while directing substantial portions of his income toward community causes, demonstrating that frugality can enable generosity rather than restrict it. Holiday comes from a basketball family in Chatsworth, California, raised by parents Sean, a former college player, and Toya. His siblings include Justin, Lauren, U.S. soccer star, and Aaron, NBA player, creating a household that emphasized both athletic excellence and family values. Through the JLH Fund, Holiday and wife Lauren have deployed over $5.3 million in grants since 2020, focusing on social justice, Black communities, and youth development.
There's also HBCUs that we've been talking to, especially in New Orleans. But grassroots, man, just giving back to the community.
Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's net worth of approximately $300 million positions him among the NBA's wealthiest active players, but his lifestyle choices reveal a fascinating contrast to typical celebrity behavior. Despite his enormous wealth, Durant maintains a remarkably low-profile existence centered around simple pleasures and meaningful investments. Durant's career earnings total $447,853,045 through 2025, projected to exceed $501 million by 2026. His current four-year, $194 million contract with the Phoenix Suns pays him over $50 million annually, with another massive extension possible in 2025. But Durant's approach to wealth centers on quiet hobbies rather than flashy displays. He's an avid gamer who streams on Twitch and invests in esports, preferring video games to Hollywood parties. This introverted lifestyle reflects his genuine personality rather than calculated image management. Through 35 ventures, Durant has invested in over 100 companies, focusing on tech, sports, and media. His portfolio includes early Coinbase investments that yielded significant post-IPO gains, plus stakes in Whoop Fitness Technology, Robinhood, and SeatGeek. Recent investments include Spindrift Sparkling Water and a stake in Paris Saint-Germain valued at $4.6 billion. Durant's humble habits trace to his upbringing in Prince George's County, Maryland, where he faced financial struggles with single mother Wanda Pratt. They moved frequently through tough neighborhoods in Seat Pleasant and Landover, with Durant selling trinkets and sharing resources during difficult times. Durant remains single and focused on peace, recently linked to Elizabeth Liz Cambage, but generally maintaining privacy about relationships.
I started to understand women a little bit more as I got, well, early on I understood that, like, she's not mine. Even if she may be my girlfriend, she might be influenced by other people.
His longevity obsession includes daily workouts and recovery routines, reflecting a disciplined approach to both basketball and life management. Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony's net worth sits at around $160 million to $170 million as of September 2025, making him one of the wealthier retired NBA players. But what sets Anthony apart isn't just his wealth, it's how he chooses to manage it with the same penny-pinching habits he developed growing up in Baltimore's housing projects. Over his career, Anthony amassed $262.5 million in NBA salaries alone, ranking him among the league's top earners of his generation. His business empire includes Melo 7 Tech Partners for tech startup investments, Stay Me 7-0 fashion line, Creative 7 media production, and the Seventh Estate wine brand. But despite this impressive portfolio, Anthony's personal spending habits remain surprisingly modest. The most endearing aspect of Anthony's approach to wealth is his commitment to coupon clipping. Despite his massive contracts, he clips coupons for groceries and shops at discount stores, habits that persist even after earning hundreds of millions. In a 2021 interview, he emphasized living below his means and avoiding unnecessary expenses, a philosophy that friends and reports consistently note. Anthony's frugal mindset is deeply rooted in his upbringing in West Baltimore's Murphy Homes projects. Born to Carmelo Iriarte and Mary Anthony, he lost his father at age 2 and moved from Brooklyn's Red Hook projects to Baltimore at age 8. Growing up surrounded by violence, drugs, and poverty, he learned early that every dollar mattered. His 2021 memoir, Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised, details the harsh realities of his childhood in West Baltimore's projects, experiences that shaped his conservative approach to money. Basketball became his escape route, starring at Towson Catholic and Oak Hill Academy before his championship run at Syracuse. What makes Anthony's story particularly compelling is how he channels his wealth into meaningful philanthropy. Through the Carmelo Anthony Foundation, founded in 2005, he aids underserved communities with initiatives including Feed the Children partnerships that have helped over 5,000 families. His approach to giving reflects the same thoughtful consideration he applies to his personal spending. Trey Burke. While Trey Burke's net worth of around $20 million might seem modest compared to other NBA players, his approach to financial management offers perhaps the most instructive example of disciplined wealth building. Burke earned approximately $25.4 million to $26.3 million in NBA salaries over his 11-season career, spanning teams from the Utah Jazz to international leagues. But what makes his financial story remarkable is his rookie year decision. Despite earning $2.4 million, he imposed a strict $5,000 monthly budget on himself. This wasn't about deprivation, it was about discipline. Burke recognized that many young athletes struggle with sudden wealth, so he hired financial advisors to manage investments and structured his spending to avoid the pitfalls common to professional athletes. Even after multiple contracts totaling over $25 million, Burke continues to live modestly, avoiding flashy purchases and focusing on family needs. Burke's conservative financial approach reflects his working-class upbringing in Columbus, Ohio. Raised by his father, Benji Burke, an AAU coach and former player, and mother mother, Rhonda, he learned discipline early. His father coached his teams, including one with childhood friend Jared Sullinger, instilling both basketball fundamentals and life values. What's particularly admirable about Burke's approach is his family-first mentality. He signed his father and cousin Alonzo as agents in 2013, keeping financial decisions in-house. Married to high school sweetheart Demonique since 2018, they prioritize privacy and family. Stability over public displays of wealth. Burke's recent move to international basketball, including signing with Guangdong and China's CBA in February 2025, demonstrates his continued focus on financial opportunity combined with practical decision-making. His career may not have reached superstar heights, but his financial discipline offers valuable lessons for anyone managing sudden wealth increases. Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan's net worth ranges from $100 million to $150 million, accumulated through one of the most successful and efficient careers in NBA history. Over 19 seasons with the San Antonio Spurs, Duncan earned $242 million in salaries, often taking pay cuts to help his team build championship rosters. He reduced his salary from $21.15 million to $10.36 million in 2012 and took $10 million in 2014 to 15, demonstrating that team success mattered more than maximizing individual earnings. But Duncan's legendary frugality extends far beyond contract negotiations. Despite earning over $240 million in his career, he drove an old Porsche 911 for years, shopped at Costco for bulk deals, and lived in a relatively modest San Antonio home. Duncan's approach to endorsements also exemplified his understated style. While he had deals with Adidas and appeared in Texas-based H-E-B grocery chain commercials with Spurs teammates, he avoided high-profile campaigns that didn't align with his personality. He later switched to Nike, but never pursued a signature shoe line, preferring substance over marketing noise. Duncan's humble beginnings in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, shaped his grounded perspective. Born to Anguillan immigrants William, a mason with various jobs, and Ione, a midwife, he was the youngest of 4 children. Originally aspiring to swim like his Olympic sister Trisha, he switched to basketball after Hurricane Hugo destroyed the island's pool in 1989. The tragedy of his mother's death from breast cancer in 1990, the day before his 14th birthday, reinforced his commitment to education and family values. He graduated from Wake Forest with a psychology degree, honoring a promise to his mother. Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic's net worth sits between $80 million to $120 million, built through his historic NBA contracts and modest endorsement deals. But what makes the 3-time MVP truly unique isn't his wealth, it's his complete disinterest in the trappings that typically come with it. Jokic signed the largest contract in NBA history at the time, a 5-year, $276 million Supermax deal in 2022, with annual earnings escalating to $62.8 million by 2027 to 28. He's eligible for another massive extension worth $212 million in 2025. Yet despite these astronomical figures, Jokic maintains a lifestyle that would be recognizable to any small-town resident. The secret to understanding Jokic's approach to wealth lies in his summer routine. He returns to Sombor, Serbia, to race harness horses. This passion, which began in childhood, remains his primary interest outside basketball. He drives modest cars, avoids luxury displays, and genuinely seems to treat his NBA career as a job that funds his real passion. Tennis star Novak Djokovic has praised Jokic's grounded nature, noting that he cares only for horses and family. Teammates describe him as minimalist, punctual, casually dressed, and more interested in team card games than individual accolades. He works out daily out of love for basketball, not for attention or publicity. Jokic's upbringing in Sombor, a quaint northern Serbian town, shaped his relaxed perspective. Born amid the Yugoslav War's aftermath, he grew up in a cramped 2-bedroom apartment with parents Branislav, a former agricultural engineer, and Nikolina, plus brothers Strahinja and Nemanja. Family remains central to Jokic's life and spending priorities. Married to high school sweetheart Natalia since 2020, they have daughter Ognjena and a second child. His brothers live with him in Denver during the season, and family attendance at games provides his primary motivation. He credits them for his happiness, viewing his NBA success as a means to provide for those he loves while pursuing his passion for horses. Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry's net worth sits between $220 million to $240 million, positioning him as one of basketball's wealthiest active players. But remarkably, when asked about his exact net worth, Curry admits he doesn't track his fortune precisely, reflecting a fascinating detachment from wealth accumulation that characterizes many truly successful people. Curry's current 4-year, $215.4 million contract pays him $59.6 million for 2025 to 26, the highest single-season salary in NBA history. his lifetime Under Armour deal, potentially worth over $1 billion, including equity and royalties, has transformed both his wealth and the brand's valuation, with the Curry brand generating $150 to $200 million yearly. Despite these astronomical figures, Curry maintains surprisingly grounded lifestyle choices. He lives in a $30 to $31 million Atherton, California mansion, lavish by normal standards, but modest for someone in America's wealthiest zip code, where the median home price exceeds $10 million. The 18,000 square foot home on 1.5 acres reflects comfort rather than ostentation. Curry's daily habits reinforce his grounded approach. He's frequently seen biking around town and embracing simple family life with wife Aisha and their 4 children. When asked to rate himself on spending habits, he describes himself as frugal, carefree, or somewhere in the middle, avoiding extravagance while investing wisely in his future. Curry's values stem from his basketball family upbringing in Charlotte, North Carolina, where Father Dell played for the Hornets. Mother Sonia, a former volleyball player, and Dell instilled Christian faith, work ethic, and family bonds that remain central to his identity. Growing up undersized and overlooked, he developed humility that persists despite unprecedented success. Through the Eat. Learn. Play foundation with Aisha, Curry has committed $50 million to Oakland schools for literacy, nutrition, and play programs, covering all administrative costs so donations go directly to students. His Christian faith emphasizes service over accumulation, viewing success as a platform for positive impact rather than personal aggrandizement. Andrew Bogut. Andrew Bogut's net worth is estimated between $40 million to $50 million USD, accumulated through his 14-season NBA career and smart post-retirement investments. But the real story isn't the figure itself. It's how carefully Bogut has managed his money. Despite pulling in more than $118 million in NBA salaries, Bogut earned $118,126,549 in NBA salaries over his career, including lucrative contracts with the Milwaukee Bucks and Golden State Warriors. His peak earnings came during a 5-year, $60 million extension with the Bucks and a 3-year, $36 million deal with the Warriors, where he won an NBA championship in 2015. Despite these substantial earnings, Bogut's frugality became legendary among teammates and fans. Even after signing his massive Warriors extension, he maintained modest living standards and tracked expenses meticulously. In 2014, realizing he had no idea about money, he took an online personal finance class to better manage his wealth. This education led to a complete overhaul of his spending patterns and investment strategy. A 2015 spending diary Bogut kept for ESPN revealed his penny-counting habits, including eBay purchases and careful tracking of coffee expenses. Rather than embarrassment, this reflected his deliberate choice to prioritize long-term financial security over short-term gratification. Bogut's financial discipline stems from his upbringing as the son of Croatian immigrants in Melbourne. His parents Miso, Mike, and Ankika, Anne, fled Yugoslavia in the 1970s, with his father working as a mechanic and mother as a nurse. Growing up in diverse suburbs like Mulgrave and Dandenong, Bogut learned the value of hard work and careful money management. Post-retirement, Bogut has channeled his financial discipline into smart investments. His portfolio includes stakes in Cloud9 esports, PillPack, acquired by Amazon, real estate ventures, and various Australian startups. He's also taken an ownership stake in the Sydney Kings, where he now serves as an assistant coach, combining his basketball knowledge with his business acumen. David West. David West's net worth of approximately $35 million tells only part of his remarkable financial story. What makes West truly unique is his willingness to sacrifice money for principles, most notably when he turned down $12.6 million with the Indiana Pacers to sign veteran minimum deals with championship contenders. West accumulated $92,190,459 in career NBA salaries over 15 seasons, with peak earnings during his New Orleans Hornets years. His financial timeline included a 5-year, $45 million extension with the Hornets and a 3-year, $36.6 million deal with the Pacers, demonstrating his value as a consistent performer. But West's most defining financial decision came in 2015 when he opted out of his $12.6 million Pacers contract to sign with the San Antonio Spurs for just $1.55 million. He repeated this choice in 2016 and 2017 with the Golden State Warriors, prioritizing championship opportunities over maximum earnings. This ring chasing at reduced pay exemplified his philosophy that some things matter more than money. West's financial philosophy reflects his blue-collar upbringing and commitment to social justice. Born to Amos and Harriet West, He was raised in Teaneck, New Jersey, before moving to Garner, North Carolina. His educational journey at Xavier University, where he majored in communications and won multiple academic honors, shaped his thoughtful approach to life decisions. West's post-career investments include a $250,000 stake in Zoetic Energy, a clean energy firm focused on Africa, demonstrating his commitment to meaningful impact over purely financial returns. His investment philosophy mirrors his playing career, choosing purpose over profit maximization. West's philanthropic efforts reflect his values-driven approach to wealth. Through the West Group, he has awarded scholarships to over 400 low-income students in North Carolina. His giving extends internationally, with basketball courts refurbished in Ghana, Senegal, and Gambia, plus speaking engagements at the African Union. The depth of West's character became evident during his New Orleans tenure, particularly during Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Witnessing the inequities exposed by the disaster, he provided meals and aid packages to affected communities, experiences that shaped his lifelong commitment to social justice and community support. West's family life reflects his grounded values. Married to Leslie since at least 2008, they have daughter Deja and son David Benjamin. His parents encourage dream chasing while maintaining practical perspectives, lessons that influence his approach to both basketball and financial decisions throughout his career. Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose's net worth of $90 to $95 million reflects a career that peaked early but maintained earning power through resilience and adaptation. Rose's post-retirement lifestyle in Chicago exemplifies how athletes can remain connected to their roots regardless of wealth accumulation. Rose earned $166 million in NBA salaries, plus over $13 million from endorsements like his lifetime Adidas deal. His peak contract was a 5-year, $94 million extension with the Chicago Bulls in 2011, signed after his historic MVP season at age 22. This made him the youngest MVP in NBA history, a record that still stands today and seemed to promise decades of superstardom. However, Rose's career trajectory changed dramatically with his ACL injury in 2012, leading to a series of setbacks that would have broken many players' spirits. Instead of allowing these challenges to embitter him, Rose adapted his expectations and approach to both basketball and life. His later contracts included minimum deals with various teams, but he maintained his professionalism and dedication throughout his career's ups and downs. After retiring in September 2024, Rose has maintained a deliberately low-profile existence in Chicago. The city declared January 4th, 2025, Derrick Rose Day, celebrating his contributions both on and off the court. His retirement tour emphasized community connection over personal celebration, visiting local schools and community centers rather than seeking media attention. Rose's frugal lifestyle reflects his upbringing in Chicago's Englewood neighborhood, where he was raised by single mother Brenda amid challenging circumstances. He frequently shares struggle meal stories during interviews, emphasizing resilience and maintaining connection to his South Side roots despite his wealth. These stories aren't told for sympathy, but to inspire others facing similar challenges. Rose attended Simeon Career Academy, the same high school that produced other NBA stars before his single season at the University of Memphis. His journey from the tough streets of Englewood to NBA stardom represents the American dream, but his response to career adversity reveals even more about his character than his early success. Now engaged to Elena Anderson with 3 children, Rose focuses on family and community rather than luxury displays. His post-retirement life emphasizes quiet contentment over public recognition, reflecting the humility that characterized his entire career despite early superstardom. He's often seen at local Chicago establishments, interacting with fans not as a celebrity, but as a neighbor who happened to achieve extraordinary success. Rose's approach to wealth demonstrates how early adversity can create lasting appreciation for simple pleasures and family connections, even when financial security is no longer a concern.